Hi, everyone, and welcome. This is Krishna Priya. This is the Human Colony Hucolo webinar. It is Saturday, the 9th of September, 2023, and we have for the second week in a row, we have Jim Charles. How did we get so lucky, Jim? How did we get so lucky?
Because I switched with Will for a week. Will was kind enough to do that because I was presiding at a wedding.
Okay, well, I mean, I knew how, but I was just hoping you'd say something like, because you're awesome, or something like that. Let's try again. Yes. How do we get so lucky?
Yes, because I'm awesome.
There you go. See, that was much more fun, even if I had to force him to do it. Okay, yes. So today we have in our room, we have
forced
Angie,
humility.
Yeah, Angie, Jim, of course, Susan, Bola, Kat, Christine, Jennifer, Radha, Ryan, Safira, Wendy, Will, and myself. And who do you have over there?
I have Blair and I have James.
Hi, Blair and James. Hello. Thank you for being here. All right, let's start with a couple announcements and then we'll go to blessings blessings would be good. Okay, Ange, go ahead.
Thank you. All right, we have our Starseed Gathering scheduled. It is August 8th through August 12th, 2024. It is quite a ways out, so if you are interested, we are offering a payment plan with that as well. It's about oneness, it's about gathering Starseed families, finding out who they are, connecting. There's a lot. This is the first one that we're going to have that is a lot about connecting and gathering and oneness. The theme of the esoteric is gathering and oneness with everybody. So that's where we're focusing our retreat gathering on. If you're interested, it's $6.95 a person, and email classes@hucolo.org if you are interested, and I will get all the information out to you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, let's do our blessings. I wrote it down, so let me find it again. We have Susan, Bola, Will, and Ryan. So we'll just go in that order, and Jim will interpret, and we'll take it from there.
Okay. Toa sia I tia kotoa, hi tia ki sikaya takia kua tia, hi silko hayati tukua yitsia kitaya toto yatita, hazia tia kua yasi, kia yatikotoa yasika, hozia hi tukoa, sikaya tia sukotoya. Blessings.
There is still great beauty in the world, but it is being overlooked by all the negativity that has come along. Be aware that you are in a wonderful place still at this time, and that God is blessing you for all that you do in a positive way. He is going to be with you, and he wants you to see the beauty around you. He wants you to still understand that you are in the best place possible.
Thank you. Okay, Bola.
Thank you, Krishna Priya. These are the six-dimensional Aldorians from the planet Aldor who are here to help us create a new earth. Kanturu makara shatara kuturu suturu, krunturu musuturu shakarase, krunturu mukatara krumutara kara, kruturu mukruturu karashitiri, krantiri mukuturu satarakara, kruturu mushuru, krateri turu mushuru, ketiri surusa.
We send your people love and energy to survive through this next period, to be of great strength and will, because you are going through some hard times at this point. We also want to see more unification and more oneness. It is time for you to unite together in a greater way. We are here to oversee that possibility and that understanding.
Perfect. Will, please.
Ati tigarheta rahashia. Sahana ata tikashisa. Ya hakatara arisa. Ikononoro to otota hashisa. Saya hakanata karihito guruta risha. Saya kahasakariara. Aratekiara hasa aya katarashia. Haskana hatare kayakotoro usha ara arakaya.
We speak for all of the universe. The universe is being pulled out of balance, but we want to bring all things into harmony once again. Let it happen with this time period that is coming forth. We see that there is a chance for greater understanding, for greater achievement, for greater power, for greater beauty and love. We are here with the power of the universe and holding on to your understandings as they are.
Thank you. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yevarecha Adonai, v'yishmerecha, Ya'ar Adonai, panav elecha, v'hiunecha, Yasai Adonai, panav elecha, Yivsasem lacha shalom, Yiviyasem lacha shalom. Thank you.
Let God bring you what he wants to bring you, and let peace be your guide. Let God be your guide. It is all about the coming together, the unity and the peace that will come from these things. It is a time of great understanding and celebration.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so let me put you on spotlight. We have quite some requests, and anybody that just joined in the room, if you want to put your request in, but I'll start with what we have. Celeste just came in, Jen came in, a couple other people came in, so
Yes.
Wendy came. So if you guys want to type something in, okay, so the requests are Takur and Valiant Thor, Ryan's Andromedan Highest Self, Elijah, the Aldorians, the Spider Collective, Goddess Ayahuasca, the Mermaid from Sirius B. We made a joke about that earlier, that's why I laughed. At Ra was a request. Nostradamus, thank you, Angie. And was there anyone else? And then from the YouTube chat, someone requested God. And that's all I have for now, unless someone wants to put something in quick.
All
Okay.
right.
All right. So we look forward to your channeling, and we will see you in a bit. Thank
Okay.
you for. Oh, and someone says the B Collective.
Okay.
Okay.
Greetings, I am Elijah. I speak today from my heart. My heart is heavy with understanding that many of you are seeking God, but are not grounded, are not filled with what is necessary to keep the ideas safe within you. You need to find your own way, of course, but you must ground yourself into the earth before you can reach up into the next density or dimension. You must understand that there is great information coming and great understandings coming as well. But you all need to find what is necessary for you to bring that to the earth, to bring what you are supposed to bring into this realm, into this population. We are now in a place where many of you are going to be leaders. Many of you are going to be someone of notoriety in some way. You may not be the most famous person in the world, but you will be someone that people will count on, that people will listen to, that people will understand that you have a mission and a cause, and they will come to you as they will because they know that they can relate to you. When you find someone you can relate to, you always go there to find the energy and strength you need, the power, the wisdom, the love, the understanding. You always go to those you can relate to so that you can actually grow. Now, listen carefully. Many of you hear the words. Many of you hear the things that are said, but it does not settle within you. The seed is not necessarily planted, but it goes by and you hear it, but you don't really ground with it. You don't really know what it means. Or either that, or you think you already have it and you don't need it. But take into consideration everything that is to be in the future. All the information and understanding and wisdom that is necessary for the future is coming forth now. Grab a hold of it. Make sure that you are strong in it. Make sure that you are firm with it, because if you are not, you'll be swept away by the negativity. If you are not sure of yourself, you'll be swept away. You must be certain in every way that you are following the light and in the right way. You must be certain that you are in the right direction. It is that this is so important at this time. Many of you are in the right direction, but are not sure which way you're going. Allow God to open up opportunities for you so that you may see what direction He wants you to go. You must be looking, you must be seeking, you must be finding God in the way that you are meant to find Him. He is not going to come and give you the information just like that. You're going to have to seek Him. You're going to have to be led by Him. You're going to have to know who He is so that you can get the right information from Him. But remember, find those that you can trust and discuss these things with them, because when you discuss things with the community in the oneness of all things, you will learn who each of you are in God's eyes and in each other's eyes, so that you can perform the tasks that are necessary for you to do. Many of you are doing great things, good things, amazing things. But some of you are still bewildered and are doing some things, but you're not sure exactly what you're doing. Go inside, find the answers, because they are there. Listening to all these words of wisdom over the years has already taught you many things, but you must put them into action as well. It is not just so good enough to have them rest in your soul, but you must take action with them. You must know what is going on with them. Many of you are taking action. I am not saying that you aren't, but I am just telling you that some of you need to bring forth more fruit, because it is time for people to see that fruit. It is time for people to know that you are doing something in the name of God, in the name of goodness, in the name of kindness, in the name of spirit, whoever that might be in your world. I love you all very much. I want to see more action coming. I see some of you have traveled and done many things, and this is good because you're learning about other cultures, other things, and other methods of relating to people and spirituality and different things of this nature. But keep in mind, you must always be moving forward, always be seeking, finding, looking. And that is not always easy, especially with this world the way it is and the challenges that come your way every day. Every day there's a new challenge. Every day there's something new and sometimes it's not so beautiful. And so keep in mind that you must continue to push forward through these things, push forward into a new reality, because that is what's coming. New realities are coming. New realities are something you are looking for. It is that you always are looking for that, I hope, because they are coming. And if you do not seek them, they will overcome you. You will not be able to deal with them until you are able to understand them in some ways. So find yourself, find what you are looking for, and keep in God's path, and know that He is guiding and directing you.
Thank you. Thank you. That was beautiful.
I am valiant Thor. Someone has called for me.
Hello, Valiant Thor. I think Krishna Priya is having some
I'm
technical
fine. I'm
difficulties.
okay. Yeah,
Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead, Sapira.
Sorry. Okay. Yes, I called for you, Valiant Thor, and thank you for coming.
You are welcome. What is your questions?
Well, there are many new people listening, and the story about you coming in the late 50s to Earth, you're from Venus, if that's correct.
Correct.
And you came and you met with the President Eisenhower and other Pentagon officials. This is the story. I just ask you to confirm for those listening. And then you try to introduce a first contact sharing of technology that would help the Earth, et cetera, et cetera. At the same time, a base underground with grays, which nobody knew about, was accidentally discovered. And so President Eisenhower had to choose between the conflict with the Greys and a possible war or what you were offering. And so he went with the Greys and your plan. I don't know exactly how that all went, but would you say that that's basically the truth of what happened or not really?
All those are basic truths, yes. There are some things that have been misconstrued over the ages and time, because it always does. If you whisper one thing to one person, it'll be different by the time it leaves the group of people. But it is that I did come in wanting to share first contact thoughts with the president, and I did want to become known to them so that they would feel comfortable with alien species. I came as a normal looking man, even though that isn't our real true, we don't really look like humans as much as you might think. We do look like humans to some extent, but not as you might think. But the thing is this, yes, some of that, they did discover aliens in a tunnel under the earth somewhere, and that did preclude some of the information. I think preclude is the wrong word. It actually stopped some of the things that were happening between the president and I, and the president and the staff of his leadership. And I was there sort of left doing nothing, and they sort of ignored me for a little while because other things were greater. Things were happening that they had to take care of right away. And so I could not stay forever. It is not something that a Venusian can do, stay on Earth for a long time. So I left at that point. And I did stay in contact. There was no question that I stayed in contact, but it was that what I was offering, what I was bringing forth was not really acceptable to them. It was too little. And they just did not even believe that I could bring more to them or offer them more or be the kind of leader that they wanted for me to be, in a sense. They were just saying, we'll be laughed at, we'll be scorned. And so in fact, he just came right out and said, do you realize that if we would tell the people who you are and what you're doing, that we would be laughed out of the White House? We would just be laughed. It would be a joke. And so I felt very unwound about that. It took the air out of my sails, as you would say. And so I did contact them several times, but they were not interested in doing anything because it just wasn't practical at the time. Practical, it was the word. It wasn't going to happen at that time. It was too early, too premature. And so it was a disappointment for me.
I'm sorry to hear that. I understood that was also part of what happened. And I'm sorry that you went through all that. Now, but you are still working with the earth, and as I understand, so my question is, what is your body of work now with the earth? And when do you see the next opportunity for what you offered to actually happen again with the
Well,
earth?
many of us have come holographically to the planet. That is the only way we're allowed to. We're not even allowed to come holographically, but we have come holographically and not been detected. So we spread our messages through in that way. They will see us, we will talk to them, and we will spread the understanding of who we are and what we are doing, and then we will go away. We often are seen as blonde haired, blue eyed, but not tall blonde hair, blue eyed, but just regular sized human blonde hair, blue eyed people with intense smiles and stares. So it is that we do everything in an intense way. So, but we do spread our information around, and
To
we are
whom?
still doing that.
Oh, to whom do you spread it?
To whoever we feel it's necessary.
Ah, okay. Do you see, usually when something like that happens, there's a very long loop until it comes around again to that same opportunity you offered. Do you see that happening anytime soon again?
Not in the same way, no.
Do you see anything happening soon? I know there's other beings working on this, but what do you see
I
happening with
see
you?
that government minds are closed to wanting humans to interact with aliens, and they find it a little bit dangerous for them, feeling that they might lose their power and their prosperity and all these things, but it's not true, and they also know that's not true.
Right.
So I'm not sure what's holding things up at the moment, but I have a feeling that it's going to be a dam break so pretty soon, because people are not going to put up with having things withheld from them much longer. There's so much information that they are withholding in every country, everywhere, except for maybe South America. But it is that there is so much information that they need to know about us and about all the alien species that are out there trying to make contact. They know all about those things, and they're letting little droplets of information come forth, whereas information could come in vast amounts if they would allow it, and they know that.
Okay. Well, I would have much more to ask, but for now, I'd like to thank you for coming. Maybe other people can ask other questions that'll bring more out. Thank you so much.
Okay, did anyone else have a question for Valiant Thor? I know there's a question in YouTube. Angie, why don't you go ahead and ask that while anyone else gets a chance to say they want to ask a question.
Thank you. Hey, Matt Wally says, what is the galactic prophecy concerning the Earth at this time?
The galactic prophecy for the Earth is that it should turn around. It should become more positive. It should become in alignment with the harmony of the universe. That is yet to be seen. That is the prophecy. But many are doubting that it could happen because they cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel. We try to find that light at the end of the tunnel, and we have found it in many different things, but things are moving slowly. We want them to move a little bit more quickly. So I think that with the slow movement of all of that's going on, we just have to we have to persevere.
Thank you. I have just one other question right now. Valiant Thor, can you give us an update from your perspective on actual situation concerning Tara? Thank you, and be well and be safe. That's from Marlene Yell. Marlene Yell.
I mean, Terra, the Earth, yes. Concerning Terra, the Earth is in, she is in Middle Ages, her middle age. She's billions of years old. She's getting older. And right now she's starting to feel her age. And mankind has not been kind. So she is hurting, but she will persevere until the end. And that is how it is meant to be. But we can help her out by giving her energy. We can help her out by being good to her. But there are many things. There's wars and pollution and chemicals that are really very harmful. Radiation, nuclear energies that are polluting many areas. So she is hurting. But we as aliens out here, I'll call us aliens. I don't know if that's the right word, but we are trying to help the world by taking out jet streams. What are they called? Chemtrails. And we're trying to reduce radiation in the oceans. We're trying to revamp some of your weather patterns, but that's not easy because they are in a very strange mode. There is no way to control the weather at this time. It is really quite out of control. And so you're going to see a lot greater weather challenges, I believe. But we see the jet streams not in the right sequence, and the equator is off and the axis is off. And so all these things put together make for a difficult time. But we are helping as much as we can.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. It's really a pleasure to have you here. That is all the questions that we have, unless there's one in the room for you. But that's all the questions we have for you at this moment.
Very well, I will go.
There are
Thank you
two
for
more
coming.
there are two more questions in YouTube.
Are they for Valiant Thor?
Yes.
Okay, please continue. Thank you.
Rocco says, they said that Tesla is from Venus. That should explain a little bit. What was his name when he was there?
Actually, Tesla was not from Venus. He was from Pleiades.
Okay.
But his name was Rotosavin.
And that was on the Pleiade planet?
Yes, he was from the Pleiades. I am not sure which Pleiades planet, but it has been proven that he is from the Pleiades. Venus, he had some interactions with, yes, but he is actually from the Pleiades.
Then Stephen Helms' question says, what is my connection to Thor and Odin in bringing changes? Thank you.
Thor and Odin are from the North country, the Norse gods. They are gods of power and authority. So I would imagine your connection is to gain power and authority in this lifetime, because Odin is the king of all the Norse gods. Thor is one of his children, I believe, that it has wields great amount of power. And so these two characters have power written all over them. And so you must accept some of the power that they're willing to give. Either that you are not accepting power and not gaining power on the earth at this time, or they see you as a powerful person and they want to feed it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me just check. Yeah, that is all the questions that we had for you. And again, thank you very much for being here and for sharing your wisdom with us.
You're welcome. We are the Spider Collective.
Welcome. Welcome. And Bola had the first question for you. She requested you, but we send you so much love and thank you for being here.
What
Go
is
ahead,
your
Bola.
question?
Thank you. Thank you for coming. I to know about the spiders I'm beginning to see more of in my garden. It used to be tiny spiders, but they're now getting quite big. And I wondered if there was a message around that, and also if there's any message that you have for humanity at this time.
Humanity treats spiders very poorly. And spiders on your planet are not of high intellectual breeding. They are different. We are here to help them survive. They do many things for your ecology. They are and should be protected. Some are, yes, poisonous, as you know, but most are there as utility beings to help cut down on other more terrible insects that could influence your gardens or such. Forgive our language, we are learning. It is that the spiders on your world are very unique. We see them as unique beings. They are a life form that we embrace because they are of our own. They look like us in some ways. They act like us in some ways. We would like to be friends with this planet, but it is difficult for us to even reach out hands to this planet when you are so violent toward us.
And do you have any message for me? Thank you for that. Thank you. Do you just wondering about the size? Is there any significance in the different
Sizes?
yeah, that I'm actually observing?
Perhaps it is the change in the environment, the change in the sun, the change in weather. Many things will change on your planet. Insects will get larger, some will get smaller. Animals will get larger and smaller due to environmental changes due to what they need to survive.
And what can we do? What can I do to just make it easier or make it more conducive, my environment generally, for spiders?
Well, do not crush them, just send them away. They are usually harmless. And if they are harmful, they are only harmful when they bite. If you do not do anything to make them upset, then they will be safe.
Okay. Okay.
Just send them away. Do not kill them.
Okay.
They will hide. They do not like humans anyway.
Interesting. Is that because of the relationship you're talking about, the fact that they are sometimes seen as, because I believe that at some time in history, there were some very dominant spider-looking like creatures that a lot of humans perished. Am I right with that? I'm not sure where I read that, or, I think there is some level of fear, there's some level of discomfort that many of us humans have
There are.
regarding spiders. So was there a history? Where does that come from, that fear?
The fear is from the fact that there are a few extremely poisonous spiders that have hurt other people when they have gotten too near or invaded nests of some nature. And so the fear of them is there. We understand to a point what is happening on your planet with spiders, but they have a right to live as well as any other kind of being or life form. Now, remember, if you let them be, usually they are fine. But if they infest your home, that may be a problem. You may have to remove them. Yes, we can understand that. But there are many times when they are destroyed and it was not necessary.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you very much for coming and answering my questions. I appreciate it.
Very well. Very well. Is that all?
I believe so, yes.
Very well.
Yes. Thank you for your time and your presence today.
Thank you for listening.
There
To
is
our-
one,
Please.
there is one question on YouTube about spiders.
Okay,
Yes.
Stephen Helms says, I've seen the black widow spiders in my dreams. Do they have any guidance for Earth?
Spiders are not guiding Earth at all, in my opinion. Perhaps the ones on your planet are more attuned to guidance for humans. We stay away from your atmosphere and from being any part of you. But the black widow spider is one that is greatly feared on your world. And so it might have to do with something of warning. That would be my thought.
Thank you. Hey, Matt
Thank you.
Wally. Hey, Matt Wally says, what is the spider's connection to Atlantis?
Spiders in Atlantis, that was not us. There was a species of spiders that did visit Atlantis. We were not them, but they did visit there and were somewhat accepted by most. But there was great prejudice against them, and so they left. That
Thank
is
you.
all.
Rosangela Cap says, hello, Spider Collective. I would like to know, excuse me. I would like to know my connection with spiders, as for years I saw spiders walk through the ceilings, walls, or they were on top of me. And they were not real. They were more like shadows.
Correct. You were seeing a different realm of spiders. They are not in your density or dimension. They are from an earthly dimension that is outside the realm of your visual capacity.
I'll have to call you right back, or just hold on a second. Sorry about that. I thought I was muted. Let's see.
Angie, I think we need to move on.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for being here. And we do appreciate your time.
Thank you for listening to our plea. I am the spirit of ayahuasca.
Welcome, ayahuasca.
Greetings. Who is called?
I am James.
Can you move a little bit closer to Jim so we can hear you? Right now we
Yes,
see your
I-
shoulder. Thank you.
You can move this.
Okay. Is this better? Can you hear me?
No. Face your face towards the microphone.
Can you hear me?
We hear you,
I'm-
but not very well. Yeah.
Okay. I'm right in front of the microphone. I'm not sure what's going on. How is this?
Better. Go ahead.
Um,
What's your question?
My question is about the significance of purging during the ceremonies when ingesting ayahuasca.
Yes, it is necessary. Many must cleanse themselves so that they can see what they are meant to see. If you have great amount of negativity or things building up within you, not necessarily negativity, but chemicals, things of this nature that can harm you in any way, they must be purged out so that you are pure, so that you may see in your world what you are necessarily sent to be seeing. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. And also, as far as when the ayahuasca is blessed by the shaman before ingesting, what is the significance of the swoosh whoosh sound?
The oosh oosh
Yes,
sound
correct.
is that it is cleansing, clearing out the area for this presentation to happen, for people to be brought together. Any sound like oosh oosh or om or anything like that brings oneness, because the vibration will focus on the people, bring everyone into a greater understanding one with another, bringing also a greater way with the ayahuasca so that it can be of a greater use to the group, not only as individuals, but as the group, because it is also working in tandem one with another. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. And one last question. Is it necessary to have a communication with ayahuasca without visuals or purging?
It is possible. Like the saying says, anything is possible. But if it is necessary, then it will happen. I am one that knows that if the purge does not happen and it needs to happen, then the visions and the things that are being seen will not be what is necessary to be seen, could escape into other realms of thought and other realms of vision. And so we want to make sure everything is purified and perfect. And therefore, as that is being said, you must understand it is possible that some people will be pure and not have to purge. It has happened, but it not often does happen.
All right. Thank you.
You are welcome. There are things about ayahuasca that people still do not understand, and that is that it can open more than just visual contact with other realms and beings. It can open your third eye a great deal to other things when coming back into the realm of third. So it is that the ayahuasca is more to open a broader sense of understanding throughout the entire realm, not just for one experience, but for the experience of all things put together. Once you have had this experience with ayahuasca, does it not influence you in some way outside of the realm of when you are taking it? You think about it, you remember it, and it becomes something that is become more meaningful in some ways because of how it is presented.
Yes.
You understand? Those of you who have taken ayahuasca understand that you are supposed to see something that you could not see without taking it. And that is a new dimension, a new realm, a new belief, a new understanding, some wisdom, some beings. It is all put together so that it will make sense eventually.
Yes. Thank you.
May I add something?
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of meeting you, ayahuasca. Now it's been about 5 years ago during a very
Yes.
beautiful experience. And I did purge, but I will tell you at the moment that I purged, it wasn't because I had the same thing of, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I was a little bit intimidated about the experience, but at the moment that I purged, it was just letting go. And then it happened to be in a purge, and there was no attachment to the purging. It just happened, and it was perfect in that moment. And there was no ickiness to it because it was just release. And
That
it
is
just happened to come out in that way. So
purification.
it was a purification, and it was the right thing in the right moment.
Yes.
So
It
yeah.
is not icky.
Yeah.
It is not meant to be icky. Otherwise, if it were icky, a lot of people wouldn't do it.
That's right. So, but
But
anyway, so
once
don't
they
be worried about that.
realize after the purge, it is like, I'm free. I am lighter. I am fulfilled in some way, and I'm heading in another direction.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
That is how I have meant it to be. That is how
Thank you.
I have pushed it on the realm. And ayahuasca is something that has been brought down from the sky, because the two items that you have to put together to make ayahuasca, no one would ever imagine.
Mm.
They are two very, very different things.
Okay, there's a question from Bola. Go ahead, Bola. Is that right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Krishna Priya. Hello, Mother Ayahuasca.
Hello.
I thank you for the help that you have given to me since I met you in 2019. I definitely feel that it was your support that took me through that following year, 2020. And I wanted to just confirm with you. Someone said to me that once you take ayahuasca, it lines up the stomach walls and it never leaves. It's almost like a foundation for everything that you take in, into your breath, into your intestines. So I wanted to confirm that. And also, what is the snake that I saw when I had that encounter with you? There was a giant python.
Yes.
That what was that about?
It was not unfriendly. Usually a giant python, did it just move by to you? Did it go to the left or to the right?
It was to my right, and it just
Yeah.
went past on the right.
It just went past
It
on
was
the
a
right.
full moon that day, yeah.
It was just clearing a path. Did it clear a path?
I don't remember. It was
Anyway,
quite
usually with a
disconcerting,
giant,
it has opened up since that occasion, since that encounter with you. My business has really gone, there.
it cleared a path.
Yes, definitely.
So
Yeah.
that is what it was signifying. It was
Yeah.
that clearing of the path that took out all, you see, it moved slowly through.
Yeah.
And it cleared out what was necessary to clear out so that you could become successful, because people will step aside when the python comes through. But it did not harm anyone or anything.
No, not
It
at
was there
all.
just to clear the pathway for you.
Yes. And what about the lining of the stomach? Is that true?
It is for some people. It is not true for everyone. Ayahuasca has truths that are different for everyone. Ayahuasca has truths that are different in different groups and different understandings. And so if you're with this group, ayahuasca can be some beautiful cloud of understanding. But when you're with this group, it can be all intellectual and very geometric and very, oh, what is that all about? But it does have its meanings, and it does have its ways to teach each and every one in the thing that they need to know in that particular group.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Any other questions?
There is a question from Liliana. She says,
Sorry,
where
I was trying to say, sorry, I was trying to unmute. Let me do. Liliana has the question, but you answered it already. She said, where do you originally come from and who brought it to the planet?
Oh, it came from the stars, of course. But it was brought a long time ago when we were teaching how to use herbs and berries and things of this nature for medication and for different things. And so We are from the different segments of Arcturian and Sirius.
Okay, and then so that actually goes with another question from the YouTube chat from Eddie that says, how did you help people find which plants to mix?
Oh, we had certain technological things that we could scan the plants and find the ingredients that we were looking for, and we did find them on your planet, and so we brought them together. But you would have never found them on your own and put them together. So we knew what ingredients were necessary, but we knew that they were probably on your planet. So we found them with technology.
Thank you. Okay, Wendy has a question. Go ahead, Wendy.
Thank you. Greetings, ayahuasca. I've been working with grandmother medicine for this last year pretty intensively with a variety of different things, you know, chlorophyll, spirulina, hape, and also ayahuasca. And ayahuasca, I started before I started working with grandmother medicine, but it's in drop form. So, but recently somebody suggested that perhaps for an event to attend would be an ayahuasca ceremony. Am I being called to this at this time, or can you explain a little bit more about why these different medicines and varieties of plant medicine are calling me, or were?
Yes. Yes, you are to experience it, and let me tell you why. Because there are many things in your life that need to become put together, that are very separated. Your thought processes are very all over the place at some points, and ayahuasca will bring them all together and unify your thought processes about what you're working with and why you're working with them. Unity is part of what ayahuasca does. It unifies beings into themselves and with those that are around them. The people that are around you during an ayahuasca ceremony become joined in many different ways. They become joined mentally, spiritually, physically. They become a part of not a cult, but a part of an experience that is very, very good for the soul. Not only good for the soul, but good for the beingness of your life, for the understanding of which you are, and brings things together within you in a way that is so different than what you can imagine it to be. Do you understand that?
Yes, very much so.
And so, yes, it is calling you to unite your thoughts and bring understandings which are foreign to one another together, because all things belong together.
I see. So are the ayahuasca drops currently helping with that unification, like preliminarily?
Yes, but they are not strong enough to give you what you need.
Yeah, I've recognized that actually already.
They are not, they are too weak. That you need the strength of the ceremony and the actual ayahuasca itself to bring you into a different place in yourself, more confidence, more. You have a great deal of confidence and a great deal of understanding, but this will purify that into something else that will lift you higher.
Ah, beautiful. Speaking of lifting me higher, I've recently had, for the last 4 months, body spasms, involuntary jerks, and almost like convulsions that would be reminiscent of epileptic seizures. This last week, I had such a strong seizure, let's just call it a seizure. And then since then, it's calmed down to just an occasional minor shake. And so I think I'm at the end of that process. Can you tell me what has that incorporated or what has that done? Because I understood it to be helping collective, not just myself physically.
You are coming into balance with not only one being, but the many beings that you are channeling and the many beings that are around you. They have taken your body and made it so that your ayahuasca experience will be bringing them into your purpose in an even greater way. You're unifying with all that is around you. And that can be difficult. That can be a process. And so as that process has taken place, and you're talking to me now about ayahuasca in the, if it's calling you, it absolutely is.
Beautiful. Thank you, dear one. And I will heed your advice. Many blessings.
Please do.
Were there
Yeah.
any other questions from the YouTube chat for ayahuasca?
Not for ayahuasca.
Okay, thank you. There was also just one more thing. Like Bola, I had heard something that once we meet you, ayahuasca, for the next 100 years, you will continue to work with us. Is that correct?
I
In
work with
between.
you more than 100 years.
Thank you.
I work with
Wonderful.
you throughout your understanding of who you are and what you are. So
Thank you
as
very
you
much.
become more available to yourself and to others, I am there to put my stamp on all these things.
Thank you. Beautiful. All right. Those are all the questions we have, unless there's any in your room. And but if not, that's all that we have for you. And it's a pleasure to speak with you again.
Very well. I will bring someone else that will bring more understanding and knowledge to you. One moment. We are the Bee Collective.
Welcome. Welcome. I believe the Bee Collective was requested from the YouTube chat. Is that correct, Ange?
Yes.
Yes. So for someone, whoever in the YouTube chat requested the Bee Collective, please type your question and we
It
will come
was
back to you.
Eddie
We have,
B.
we have a message while you are waiting.
Thank you.
It is that we have become less in the many last years. We are starting to grow again in size and in number. We need to do this to be able to keep your planet alive because we pollinate many flowers and plants, vegetables, etc. So please help us to continue. Please help us to move forward. As the Butterfly Collective said in your last presentation, that we were being wiped out as well by pesticides and things of that nature. This planet has to come to grips with the poisons that it gives to the earth. This will cause your planet to die much faster. You must understand that you must give a positive kind of balance. Insects, yes, can be problematic with vegetables, but they can be dealt with in other ways, other than pesticides and poisons. We see that your planet is killing itself with all kinds of pesticides, poisons, and things that are not healthy for the planet itself. rays and waves and frequencies. It's all much too much. And you must understand everything is affected by these things. You must understand that it cannot just go on arbitrarily. It must be dealt with.
Thank you. Thank you. Angie, has the question come up in the YouTube?
Yes,
Okay.
excuse me, Eddie says, which you've already answered the majority of it, but then the remaining. Why is there less bees around these past years? We understand that it's the pesticides and people are killing them. I'm worried about them disappearing, and I'd like to generally hear from them. What's killing them and what can we do to help?
Mostly pesticides, but there was a period also where some bees were taken from the planet. They were used on another planet because their bee population was also dying because of the same things. But we are coming back stronger. We are learning how to deal with the pesticides. We are learning how to deal with Earth as it is. We must survive. There is no question. We must survive. And so we will do so. We will find our ways. Honey has properties in it that are miraculous. It does not die. It does not rot. It does not mildew. It does not have anything that will cause it to decompose. And so honey is one of these very rare properties that if you can only find if you go into space. But we create it.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Kat has a question. Go ahead, Kat.
Yeah, I'm very interested of how to replace or not replace but pesticides. How to is there a way of like frequencies or some technology that we can produce here on Earth
Well, yes, there are
to
ways.
replace pesticides?
There are green pesticides, which mean that they only kill the insects and not the plants and not everything else around them. Only certain insects are susceptible to this little bit of, but we don't even want to say that they are good because they are killing insects, and killing anything is not proper. So we will find ways with vibration. You will find ways with vibration to keep the plants safe from the eating insect. They will just run away. Certain lights, certain kinds of light will keep them away. Certain kinds of minerals and like tobacco. Sometimes tobacco will keep them, some animals and plants safe. Sometimes Tabasco sauce or whatever. I'm not sure what you use on your planet, but there are things that can be used that will not kill anything, but keep things away.
Well, I think the organics are sprayed with some sort of tobacco thing.
Yes, and it keeps the insects away, but it doesn't kill them.
Mm-hmm. So light,
So
you said some certain light.
yes, and there are certain kinds of light that if you are in a hydroponic situation will keep away insects as well. Certain frequencies will do so as well. But it is a matter of keeping safe all the bees and the butterflies and the insects that do very much good for the planet. You may keep them away from your plants, the ones that you want to keep insects away from. But in the fields, in the greater ecological world, we will be free to do what we wish without being harmed.
Mhm. So can we use crystals of some sort, you said?
I did not say crystals, but I imagine a certain kind of crystal might work. I have not encountered that where a crystal has kept me away from anything.
Mhm. Okay.
In fact, I'm drawn to crystals.
Yeah.
Sometimes they
Well, so
remind
then
me of they remind me of the pollen. They remind me of the syrupy portion of the plant, and so yes, crystals are beautiful. They do not keep us away.
yeah, okay. Thank you. I want to keep my second question for a different subject. Thank you very much.
Very well.
Thank you. I believe that's all the questions we have for you,
All
but it
right.
was lovely to have you here. Thank you for coming.
Please, please help us. This is Nostradamus.
Welcome. I don't remember who requested you. Is
I
it
believe-
Safira?
Angie,
Angie, sorry, Angie, go ahead if you have your question.
greetings, Nostradamus. How are you?
I am very well, thank you.
I wanted to bring you through so you could talk to everyone about what it was like for you here. And if there's anything that you want to bring through to us.
Well, living on your planet was very challenging, very challenging. I was married twice. I had a child that died and a wife that died. I had many things coming to me in my thought processes given to me by other beings and spirits and things. And it is hard to imagine what that was like because many of the things that were given were frightening. They were not something that I wanted to think about. And they gave them to me in a way that was like a puzzle, a cryptic. And so people had to figure out what it meant, but it was also very obvious what they meant in some ways, but it was still cryptic. And they were very, very accurate about many things, about names and things. Some of the letters were changed because through history, through time, through all things, little things change here and there and change the outcome a little bit as it comes through. But many of the things that were predicted by the different beings that came through me were phenomenally correct. Now, I didn't realize they were beings at the time. I did not. I was a human being, and I did not know that there were others. I did not believe in aliens, actually, and not at the time. But now I see what's happening as I am looking back at it. But it is that at that time I did not realize who was giving me the information. I did not realize that spirits and aliens and all these things were all aligning to bring information in quadrants. So it was a very interesting time, but for me, very sorrowful. I had many sorrows and many times of challenge. It was a time of great sickness, a time of great disruption in the world.
How did you receive your messages? Awake, asleep?
Well, both awake and asleep. Mostly, I can't even remember. But yes, a lot of times in my sleep, yes.
And
Was that it?
I mean, yes, I mean, I
There is something else you want to ask. What is it?
Yes. Do you want us to come back to you?
yes, please.
Okay, all right. Shears, Nostradamus is talking. Saphira, go ahead.
Thank you, Krishna Priya. Hello, Nostradamus.
Greetings of you.
Thank you. I understood one of your prophecies. I read one of your prophecies years ago that World War III will begin with an Indian prince, and Russia would then unite with America to win World War III or to fight World War III. And it looks like Russia is starting to begin World War III itself. I don't know if you remember that prophecy, but can you
Yes.
give us any prophecies about World War III and what's happening now?
World War III is a question mark. It is something that could happen. It is something that may not happen. There are predictions in the Pentateuch. Do you know what the Pentateuch is?
It was a Jewish mystical book, right?
It is the first
Hebrew?
5 books of the Bible,
Right. Okay. Mhm.
the Torah.
Okay.
There are messages hidden in the Torah that the end of times, the Armageddon could happen or it could not. It is up to humans to decide on that at this point. At this point, it is going to happen. And at this point, it is the opening of the second seal. When you are predicting from Revelation, the second seal is war. And the third seal is famine. And so my prediction is at this time, the war will happen because it does not look like anybody is there to stop it yet. But I do know of the prince that you speak of. He is in England.
Uh-huh. And the prophecy that Russia will actually unite with America to fight this, is that true? Was that true at the time? Well,
It was
never
true
mind.
at the time, yes.
Okay, sorry, that was a dumb question. It was true at the time, of course. But will Russia end up uniting with America to help?
It is possible still. There
Okay,
are things you cannot see and cannot know about what is happening. It
right.
is a possibility that that could happen still.
Okay. What would have to happen to make World War III not happen, for example?
More unity between countries, more unity between peoples, and I cannot tell you the third thing because it cannot be said.
Do we need a leader who's going to help us through that unity, with the unity? How's that going to
Yeah.
happen?
It has been predicted there will be one, yes.
Uh-huh. Great. And is there a time period for this whole thing? Like next 10 years, the World War III? Actually, it's begun already, hasn't it? I'm sorry.
It is upon you, yes.
Yeah,
It is
So,
actually upon you.
I see. Okay.
You are
All right,
making
well-
all the preparations that you need for war right now. All the countries in the world are preparing for war. All the people with the mindset of war are thinking of war. It is not something that is a secret to anyone that they are gearing up with nuclear weapons everywhere. So it is a very difficult time because there could be many changes coming, good and bad. This is a time of uncertainty. This is a time that no one can predict because it is a transition period. As it is a transition period, no one will be able to predict what the transitioning will go into. So it could be a very good transition, or it could be a very bad transition, or it could just stay the same, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Just real quick, if 1% of the world population of 7.5 billion would meditate to change the onset of war, would that be able to change it?
Very possibly.
Okay. So there should be a movement to do that.
Well, there should be, yes, 1% of the population doing a positive thing altogether is very, very powerful, more powerful than you might imagine.
Thank you, Nostradamus. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Angie, were you ready for your question?
Yes. Who are you, or are you working with anyone on the planet right now?
You know the answer to that. Yes.
I do, but are you working with anyone else?
Yes.
Okay. What prince were you talking about? The Prince of Darkness?
No.
What prince were you talking about?
It will be revealed to you in the right time. I cannot reveal that at the moment. There are some of you that know exactly what I speak of, and others of you that do not. But the prince is already there and already in power.
Should we be fearing this person?
You will not, no.
And is this prince somebody that is for positivity?
It will appear that he is for positivity, yes.
Will appear that he is for positivity. But then is he?
That you must decide for yourself.
Interesting. Okay, that's all I have. Thank you so much.
Okay. Were there any other questions for Nostradamus? I don't have any. Do you have it, Angie, in the chat?
Yes,
We can
one.
take it. One, yeah.
For Francesca. Nostradamus, how did you use a mirror? Was it for predictions? And how can we use it as you did?
A mirror?
Yes, like mirror gazing, mirror information.
That's, yes. There is such a thing as mirror gazing, and what you do is you stare into the mirror and it is, you see your face in a different way than it is in your present form. But when I used the mirror, it was more to see more than just what was going on. It became a picture of different things. It became a prediction, of course, but I cannot explain how that I saw it. It was like it ran across. It ran across the mirror. That's all I can say. And it is scrying is the name of what was being done. Scrying.
If you were to do a quatrain for today's time, what would it be?
A quatrain for now?
Yes.
I am not on the earth, so I do not have a quatrain for now. It would be difficult for me to say that because I do not know the earth as well as I once did. So a quatrain for now would be sort of may not be even worthwhile saying because it may not be true at all. It is only what I see from here that I could make a quatrain of. And that would be about the way the world is moving together, the way that it is not unified, the way that it is just being torn apart by men who only care about themselves and things that are happening that are very foolish. So you see, the quatrains used to come to me very easily at that point. I would be able to say them with no problem whatsoever. But I am not there now, so I have not done a quatrain in many, many hundreds of years.
Thank you. Stephanie has a question. Go ahead, Stephanie.
Hi, good day to you, my friend. How are you?
Very well.
Just one question. Typically, there is a key to decipher codes that are developed. Would you now, looking back, say that there is a key to now being able to decipher your quatrains? Thank you.
Oh, yes. Many people have already deciphered them because they see what history has brought already, and so they can see how to decipher them by the way that history is played out. So it is that they have already understand the way to do it. And there are many scientists also looking into the quatrains because some of them have more than one meaning, some of them have more than one understanding, some of them go into scientific things as well, and they're very surprised by the duality of some of them. And so it is that, yes, they have already figured out how to decipher them.
Thank you very much. Many blessings.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I believe that's all the questions we have for you at this moment.
Very
And
well.
I thank you for being here. Thank you.
Very well. I will bring someone else. Blessings to you all.
Blessings.
Greetings, I am Takur.
Welcome to
Hello. Greetings. How is everyone today?
Very good. Thank
Good.
you. You were requested by Safira, and I guess she would ask the first question. Go ahead, Safira.
Thank you, Krishna Priya. Hello, Takur.
Greetings.
Thank you so much for coming. My question is about the separation agreement existing between Earth and alien federations. I'm saying that for those who don't know anything about it. And I'll just give a little bit of a prequel. In 2005, there was an agreement made keeping aliens from coming to Earth and Earth going out of the world to alien nations or planets. And there's been an attempt to dismantle that in the last year. So that was just explaining for people, just understanding what I'm talking about. But my question to you is, there are countries who did not sign into the separation agreement. Is that true?
Well, the separation agreement will be guidance for the whole planet because that's the way it works. If it is agreed on by most of the planet, then the whole planet is under that agreement. So the separation agreement, although not every nation would want to be in that separation agreement, there are those that would want to be removed from that. But everyone legally is in the separation agreement because that is how the galactic government looks at the Earth. It's under a separation agreement. It's the entire planet.
I see. Because I was thinking if somebody went to a country, let's say, excuse me, in South America, who was open to first contact and interaction and became a citizen of the country, then they would be able to go from there. That was my thinking behind my question.
Well,
but you're saying that's not true.
No, but let me tell you that there are countries in South America that do have ships landing there. Even though there is a separation agreement, there are ships landing in Chile and Argentina because it's remote. There's nothing there in the places that they land, and so they're not even being no surveillance is even watching them. There are certain places on the planet that are so remote, the top of Canada, say, or Siberia, some portions of that, or even some portions of northern Russia, so remote, so areas that have no life in them. And so who cares if they land there? Nobody will see them. Nobody will know that they're there. There's no surveillance. And so they don't get in trouble for landing in these places because there's no one there to see them. And so the Falkland Islands. There's another place. So just to give you an example, they do have places that they still land on Earth, even though they're not allowed to, but there's no surveillance there, no people there, and so they don't care. If they say if there's no people there, nobody can see them. Nobody, and they're not even surveying that area. So because there's no people there. So
Which leads me to my next question. And thank you for all that information. My next question is connected to that. Is there a loophole which allows us on Earth to visit ships that are around us? And like, could we visit the ships in Chile and Argentina or any, like your ship? You have a 3D area in your ship, correct?
we
Those
do,
are 3D.
but only people in astral can visit us. We're not allowed to take on third dimensional visitors.
So there's no loophole with that.
No, loopholes are a problem because with a loophole, it can work two different ways. It can work for you and it can work against you. So we try to get rid of all the loopholes that we can, because usually with a loophole, if it's good for one way, it can also be bad the other way. So it is not something that we recommend trying to even find, because it can be used in more than one way.
Okay. Are there planets which wouldn't mind taking on people because they don't care about, or they're not part of it, or they didn't sign into it or anything like that, taking on Earth people?
They still have to follow the law. When they come into this galaxy, they must follow the laws of the galaxy. And if they, because they have laws in their galaxy as well. So if they're coming into this galaxy, they must follow the laws of this galaxy, and that will be given to them as soon as they enter. All around this galaxy, there is surveillance. And if there are beings coming in from outside of this galaxy, they will be given the rules and regulations and the laws governing all the planets. And that is quite a lot of information, because there's a lot of planets and they're all different and they all have different rules.
But they could transport from their galaxy without coming into this one?
Some of them can. That's rare. That's a very high, that's high technology. But they will still be seen.
Okay. Those are my questions. Thank you so much for answering them.
You're welcome.
Thank you. There's a question from Kat. Go ahead, Kat.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Can you give me a short description of how a civilization is coming to a awakening?
You mean your civilization?
No, in galaxy or universe.
The universe is coming to an awakening as well as your planet. There are many beings in the universe that are coming to see that everything should be united. Everything should be in a oneness kind of thought process. That is not happening in the universe yet, but there are those that are saying that it should happen. Just as there are some people on your planet saying that oneness should happen. But it is like some people say, oneness is not good. It's actually brought about by negative beings. But you have to look at oneness as a positive thing. You have to look at what it does. You have to look at what. Yes.
Is this happening suddenly? I mean, give me an example of, like a civilization passing through from where
There
are.
are civilizations out there that have oneness already. But they were not created the same way that your world was. Your world was seeded by many different cultures and beings. Their culture, maybe they were in a remote part of space and they only had one evolution of one different kind of species on their planet. And so everyone is of the same race. And so that brings a whole different understanding of unity to those people, because they think more alike, they act more alike, they understand things the same way, and so they're more likely to be unified. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand that, but is this a thing that happens suddenly, or it takes time, or?
Oh, it does take time, especially with a universe full of galaxies. Oneness cannot happen overnight or very quickly. In fact, we don't even know each other yet. There are still
Yeah.
civilizations that we have not encountered. There are still beings that we have not met. I'm sure there's millions of them. So it's a huge, huge universe, and bringing the universe together is not going to be an easy thing, but it's what the outcome is supposed to be.
Yeah, so actually it takes time. It's not something that happens
Oh, a
suddenly
lot
or.
of time, yes.
Okay, okay. Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Susan has a question. Go ahead, Susan.
Hello, Takur. I'm glad you came today. I'm wondering if you can give me an update on what I am doing in Astral as of late and how often I visit. And I have noticed since the trip to Ireland and Scotland in June that it seems like my telepathic abilities are coming through more, and channeling and psychic abilities are heightened. Or seem stronger or coming through more easier, I guess you could say. And I'm just wondering if it's related to anything I'm doing in Astral, or with humanity becoming more telepathic in the future and things like that. I know I'm
Well,
mentoring others in telepathy and working on the Stargates and working with the hybrid children in Plana.
yes, all those things you are doing in the astral. Those are all things, and you're also visiting the colonies. The
Yes.
colony one is for telepathy and light language, and that's one that you've been spending a lot of time in. So a lot of you have been spending a lot of time in the telepathy and light language area, as well as the channeling area. A lot of you are more interested in channeling and want to channel, and so we are getting more requests for those two areas than any other areas, except for meditation. That would be colony 7, and it is, well, or is that colony 6? I think it's colony 7. So it is that colony 6 and 7 are meditation right now, and they get a lot of people as well. There are so many ways to meditate, and people prefer to learn many different ways to meditate. So we're actually been busy lately with many people from Earth wanting to come to learn different things.
Yeah, I know meditation. I think 6 and 7, I don't know, when I originally signed up in 2019, I don't know if those were available at that time. So
No,
maybe
I
those
don't
are
think so.
other
They're
ones to
fairly new,
consider.
yes.
All right. And then my second question is I bumped my head and gave myself a mild concussion probably about 2.5 to 3 weeks ago. And one message I got was to kind of get out of my head and get into the heart more. Or I've just been too busy with worldly things, probably,
Yeah.
with work and such. And I seem to still have a little bit of those symptoms. I seem to have a heightened pulse rate, and seem to have a little of the mental stuff going on, but it's gradually getting better. So I'm just wondering if there's any advice on what type of work or what other things I can do to help speed things along with coming back into balance, I guess.
Yes, believe it or not, drinking a lot of water will help to help you also, because it will help with the pulse and things of that nature. And I think that, are you taking vitamins?
Yeah, I do take some Chlorosept, which is like a chlorophyll type product. Sometimes like magnesium, vitamin D,
Yes,
potassium, that
those are
sort of thing.
things are good. Vitamin D is necessary for most humans, because they don't get enough sun anymore, and don't work outside as much. And vitamin A is very important. B12. Make sure that your vitamin process is good, because that will heal the brain faster.
Okay. And I heard exercise too
Well,
helps,
yes,
as well as rest, but resting the brain, which I've been doing, but
but I think vitamins in the system will help, because the brain is, when you're at a certain level in the brain, the brain is growing. If you have certain sugar problems, the brain is dying. So you have to keep it in balance and make it work.
Yeah.
And the vitamins will help that.
okay.
And
Awesome.
a good diet.
All right. Thank you very much.
And
Yeah,
yes,
I
in
think
the
that's
Astro, you're doing many things. So the same as you always thought you were doing, you're still doing. And many of you are doing, helping with the grids and the stargates now. They have to be completed before 2030, I believe.
Is there still only 2 stargates open at
There's
this
3
time?
now.
There's
3.
3 now. Awesome. Okay. And when was the last time I visited, or how often do I visit?
You visit every couple weeks.
Every few weeks? Okay. All right, because I don't have a conscious recollection, but
No,
maybe
no
I
one
need to
does.
yeah.
No one ever does. Or
Okay.
if you do, it's very rare. There are few people that remember.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. Thank you, Takir. Much blessings to you.
Very well.
Thank you. There's some questions, Angie, do you want to ask from the YouTube chat for you?
Sure. Rosangela has a couple questions. Hello,
Greetings.
Takir. What's your connection, if any, with the spiritual colonies ships helping humanity transition from 3D to a spiritual body?
Oh, well, of course, we're in alliance with all these ships that are trying to help the planet rise, because we are doing the same thing. We're trying to keep out all the things that will distract you from rising. So that's one thing that we're doing. And the other thing is, yes, we're united with all the different beings that are sending positivity, healing, and images and messages to the planet, and trying to give you the information you need to rise, giving you the energy that you need to rise. And, many people are using that already.
Rosangela also asks if you're familiar with the ship Zendra and their work that they're doing.
Zendra's doing good work. They're sending out a lot of energy. Their beings there are very light, very, I don't even know if you can really see them. They're in another density and dimension. You wouldn't be able to see them. And so yes, very good. Is there anything specific you want to know
Well,
about?
she just wanted to know if you're familiar with that specific ship, the
Oh, yes,
Zendra.
I am.
Okay. And the work that they're doing?
Yes.
Hey, Matt Wally asks, is humanity the project to bring all the different aliens together like a glue?
It's one of them. We were hoping that is going to be the case once you are introduced to the neighborhood, so to speak. Once you are introduced to the galaxy and are no longer separated from it, we would like everyone to introduce themselves, not all at once, of course, but your world knows of many different civilizations and many different species. So it is that you will meet them all eventually, once you're a part of the galaxy.
Thank you. Joan, okay, go ahead.
What were you going to say?
I was wondering, Takir, the caldera under Yellowstone,
Yeah.
there's a lot of different greater readings now. Are you guys paying attention to that?
Yes, we are.
And is there
We're-
anything that you can, is there anything that you can do if,
Well, we're doing several things. Let me tell you the most important thing we're doing is we're moving the magma under the ground or lava, whatever you want to call it. I think one is above ground and one's below ground. We're moving it southwest and southeast under the from away from the caldera. And the reason for this is there's just that is one of the most volatile areas on the planet. And if it were to, there's many different places in Yellowstone that could erupt. Not just one place, but many places. And at one point, it was one huge caldera, meaning that it was one great eruption, and it created probably most of the United States and part of Canada. So it was a volcano that was huge. It was a huge explosion, but then it sank. It withdrew, and some volcanoes do that. But with Yellowstone, yes, very, very volatile. And so we're trying to move the magma away from it to other places so that it's not as active.
thank you.
Okay, all right. Let me just come back. There was a question from Joan. She said, what is the energy in my body that feels like I'm plugged into something? Any advice or guidance? How should I work with this energy?
The energy that you are feeling is of love from an angelic point of view. You're getting a lot of angel energy, a lot of creator being energy, and the energy is there to use for healing. The energy is there for to use for whatever positive use you want to take it for. It is a lot of very good energy that can be used, and you can move it into your thought processes. You can move it into your consciousness. You can move it into different areas. You just have to learn how. This is an energy that many people will eventually start feeling once they get closer to a rising state. They'll start to feel a lot more energy, a lot more positivity, a lot more excitement.
Okay, thank you very much. Ryan has a question and Christine have a question. We just have 7 minutes left, so let's keep them short.
Greetings.
Go
Just
ahead,
have a
Ryan.
quick question. Do you have any messages for me in terms of my spiritual transition and spiritual development? Thank you.
You're moving into there's a different world for you right now. You see things much differently than you did maybe even a month ago or 2 months ago.
Yes.
You are starting to understand that you are in control. And that is a very important thing for you to know. Before, you didn't have any control. You felt out of control. Now you are in control. This is a very positive thing, and you will continue to grab a hold of that. And that will be a way to be successful in many different ways.
Ways such as anything
Your
you can share?
successful business, your business.
Oh, okay.
For
Awesome.
your future success in business, for your future success in metaphysical endeavors, etc.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Blessings.
All right, thank you. And Christine has a question, please.
Yes, thank you. I was wondering if you could tell me, a long time ago, years ago, I was getting arthritis in my hands and it was really painful for me. And I asked the El Yaha to help with the pain. And the pain is gone. The arthritis is still there, but the pain is gone. Then yesterday, yesterday, I had a lot of pain in one finger, and I thought to pick up a crystal and hold it. And after about maybe 5 minutes or less, the pain went. Is it my imagination, or am I really starting to tune into the crystals?
You are starting to tune in, yes. and your belief system is getting stronger with them. It's about time now for you to start tuning in, because you've been trying to for a while. It's just that you're so hesitant about a lot of things, and right now you're starting to be more certain about who you are, what you're doing, how it's happening, where you plug into the world. And
Right.
so that is helping you to overcome many things.
That's good. That's good.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
you're welcome.
Thank you. We are right at the end. So since we are right at the end, we'd ask Tucker if you can give us a blessing, and then we'll have Wendy give us a blessing as well, and we'll close up like that.
Very well.
Okay.
Yukuo Ushia Ka Tato Wan Zisi Frita Mo O Awa Tasen Zietata Tikrivi Niatata Oskov Yatu Utian Yakwatiashon Frita Yutu Oho Utu Uyaka Asham Yatu Tishi Iro. Alas, humanity is rising up. We pray that you unite and become one with God. We pray that this civilization will not end. We pray that it is what it is meant to be, and that all will come to pass the way it should come to pass. We are giving you strength and aid at every turn and every corner, so that you may survive, and that you may be part of God's greatest understanding and connect with the universe in the way that you are meant to connect. We love you. We pray for you. We give you our service, and we give you our understanding. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And while Jim comes back, we'll have Wendy do a blessing, and then Angie, and then we'll close up.
Hotohiana kaharunyere kahututuyama hakatatu mimimo pa manana tu no nyanana tu no nanana man yuno mama mama no mama 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 min yun yish granieta ka inutu irapa aparata. Blessings.
Let your love surround everyone. Let everyone know that you love them and are supporting them in some way. Your love and understanding will be of a great gift to the world, because you need to know that when people see your love, they will be drawn to it. They will be drawn to the spirit. They will be drawn to the understanding of oneness. They will be drawn to the beauty of all that is. Continue to be the example for everyone.
Thank you. And Angie, please.
Ananiata kauda. Ono no chuta ana. Minini tuku uda unama. Iyayata tao. Blessings.
There is so much light shining from all of you here that we want to receive it in a way that is a blessing to all. The universe waits for you, and we wait for the love to expand on your world.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, Angie, do you want to give your announcement?
Yes, thank
Please?
you.
Okay.
We have our Starseed Gathering next year, August 8th through August 12th, 2024. The price is $6.95 a person, and you can register, or if you have questions about it, please email classes@hucolo.org. We are very excited for this. We have several people already signed up. If you are interested and want to do a payment plan, you are welcome to do this because it is so far in advance. We did have to book the rental place 1 year in advance because this year was already booked. Classes at hucolo.org if you are interested. Jim, did you want to say anything about the gathering?
Just that I think that it's going to be amazing, and we're going to be dealing more with oneness, togetherness, and spirit families, and you know, your space families and spirit seeds and all that kind of stuff. I'm just really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place that we rent.
Swimming, everything. Yeah, it's good.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Perfect. So, and next week we have Susan and Wendy back to finish the channeling. They almost didn't start the last time because we got into such a deep discussion. So this time will be all channeling, and we look forward to having Wendy and Susan back channeling next week. So, and then after that, Jim is back. So we have a lot of Jim this month, right in a row, which is always great. Yeah. So we look forward to that. We'll see everyone next week. Everyone be safe, be happy. Thank you to everyone in the room. Thank you to everyone in the YouTube chat. If you're interested to help support Human Colony, you can go to our website, hucolo.org, and you can become a member for $10 a month. You are guaranteed to always be in the Zoom room, and also, especially with Jim, and to have your questions asked and answered. So please consider supporting us. It does help us. A measly $10 is like a coffee at Starbucks. So one coffee less a month will help us a lot. So thank you so much, everyone. Much love to you, and we'll see you next week. Same bat time, same, I would say same, who should we say? Same Jim time, same Jim channel.
Yeah.
All right, all right, everyone. Much love.